Shaheem Reed. I'm here with Dirty Dom. One of my all-time favorites, man. 20 years actually in the game, man. Going hard.
Crazy, crazy. I had my 20-year anniversary last night. But my 20-year anniversary debuting, but also my 5-year anniversary of debuting as a wrestler. So, I'm out here making milestones. That's why I am the greatest Mysterio of all time.
What was your reflections last night when you was, thinking about these anniversary dates? I mean, we did the tribute and paid homage to Eddie with AJ coming out with the lowrider. He had the pants dressed up, you know.
For me it was definitely very special. I didn't know AJ was gonna come out in that lowrider with those tights. So it definitely caught me off guard. He was trying to play some mind games. But for me, what really mattered was the fact that I was walking in as the Intercontinental Champion and I walked out as the Intercontinental Champion. And it's funny, I haven't posted it, but there's a really cool picture of me from I want to say 2019, maybe 2018 at MetLife at WrestleMania. The empty stadium. I'm sitting there, all 260 pounds of me at that time. And just picturing what the world would look like in 5 years, right? And here I am now, being the co-main event at SummerSlam against AJ Styles, 20th anniversary. It doesn't get any better than that.
With Dirty Dom, you got Dirty in your title for the name, Dirty Dom. You're supposed to be one of these hated villains. You've done some dastardly things in the past, but the fans just keep cheering you, man. Like, what do you think WrestleMania? And when you won the belt, they were going crazy. Then I saw you down in Mexico not too long ago. Even crazier pop.
Man, it's super surreal, man. It's such a blessing because it wasn't too long ago. I was getting booed out of stadiums and arenas for 2-3 years now.
That was the funniest thing.
Not even being able to get a word out. Like interviews and podcasts and stuff like this is the most I was ever able to talk. So the fact that it's switched up on me that quickly, because I remember walking out, my music hitting at WrestleMania, and they booed me. I was getting booed, and then the match started. Things started progressing, and they were chanting, they were singing, my song, and it just, I don't know. I didn't change anything about Dirty Dom. I just know the fans changed up. They realized, the greatness they were witnessing.
Yeah. But how does that feel though when you've been putting in work for so long and obviously able to come out and be your own man, come out of your dad's shadow, and people just appreciate, good, literally good, bad, or indifferent what you've been doing.
Man, it's really special, because a lot of people would say, it's going to be really hard to fill Ray's footsteps. You'll always be in Ray's shadow. But here we are 5 years later, and I am undoubtedly the greatest Mysterio that ever lived. I've done things that he's never done in his career. I'm doing things now in my 5 years of as a wrestler that he's still trying to do in his 20 plus years of wrestling. So to me, it just speak volumes of where I'm at as a performer, as a wrestler, and just overall.
Who's 3 of your favorite Intercontinental champions?
3 of my favorite, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Scott Hall.
Those are 3 great ones, man. Razor.
Yeah.
We love those. What'd you tell your girls, man? They lost the title. I was loving seeing Judgment Day. Everybody got the gold. Temporary setback.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see tonight. I actually, before I walked in here, I just saw the girls walking in. They definitely looked pretty sad. I know my Juanita's not happy about it. That was technically she never lost her title. So whenever she comes back, I feel like she should be first in line for whatever she wants. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what the Judgment Day holds in for tonight at Raw here at Barclays in Brooklyn, because it's gonna be a fun one. But all that matters is I walked out as champion still,
When we talked to Liv at WrestleMania, she was so excited and looking forward to having some fun with Cardi B at SummerSlam this weekend, especially so close to her home, man. What did y'all talk about? How she felt about not being in ABC?
You know, she texted me before my match, texted me, you know, good luck. And I told her, I was like, you know, it doesn't feel the same without her here. And sure enough, she's gonna come back bigger, stronger, and better than ever. You know, I think she's really excited. She was bummed that she couldn't make it. Obviously, SummerSlam in her hometown. She wanted to do stuff with Cardi, but I think Cardi's the one that got lucky that Liv wasn't there. You know, she may be little, but she's a scrappy one.
I wanted to ask you, what did you think of Cardi as the host coming out there, setting the night off? And, she had some back and forth with some of the ladies on Twitter, but she kind of backtracked when she saw them in person. They was a little bit bigger than what she thought. But what do you think about Cardi and her being the host for SummerSlam?
You know, I think it's cool to keep bringing in different eyeballs into the product. At the end of the day, I've never met Cardi, so I don't want to speak illy of her. But you know, she always does give a high praise to Pops Eddie. So you know, props to Cardi, I guess.
For sure. The first time I met you, I know you don't remember, but you was a little kid. You was at the MTV building and your pops brought you through Rey Mysterio. And he's like, look, when we leave here, my son is the number one fan of hip hop. Where can I get mixtapes from? And I directed you guys to go to Canal Street in Lower Manhattan. And Ray told me y'all got like a whole stack of just a bunch of mixtapes. So I know you don't even probably remember that, but what are you listening to now? What are you on the road? When we talked to Living Raquel, they said it was a lot of Drake and a lot of Kendrick in their rotation. What's in your rotation right now? What you got?
Man, I got my rotation depends on the mood I'm in. I got so much in my rotation, from hip hop to country to traditional Mexican to Frank Sinatra. But right now, I'm really on that. Like, I'm a West Coast kid, man. It's hard not to vibe with you know, all the old school West Coast. You got Dre, Snoop, Kendrick, even some of the new guys with OGZ and the Shoreline Mafia coming up. Like, you know, I listen to all that stuff. That's West Coast to me. That's West Coast music, and I love that stuff. I grew up on it. You know, I remember being a kid and stealing. Nah, I don't want to say stealing, borrowing my deadbeat dad's because I had like a CD player in my room and I didn't have any CD, so I remember going in and stealing Dr. Dre's The Chronic '01, and I had it was a black CD with like a little green something in the middle. I don't recall really what it was, but I just remember blasting that when I was like 6 years old. So I've always had a love for hip hop.
Well, you were far advanced in wrestling and far advanced in hip hop too, which I love. What's your expectations of Survivor Series, San Diego?
Man, I'm just excited to be home in San Diego. It's the first show ever at Petco Park that WWE is coming to. So it's like for me growing up, going to the Padres games, going to see my dad wrestle over at Pachanga Arena now. It used to be the San Diego Sports Arena. So like it's just special, man. And I hope I get to be a part of that card at Survivor Series.
Now you got to do it. But let me ask you a question. Survivor Series. See, I'm a fan of the old school traditional Survivor Series matches. I love War Games. I love what they're doing. But I loved it when it was like Hogan and Bam Bam Bigelow and all of those guys. What would you like to return to San Diego? Would you like to be in one of the traditional Survivor Series matches? Maybe like a Judgment Day versus the Wyatts or something like that? Or would you like to be solo defending your belt?
I think if I still have the title, I'd love to walk in to Survivor Series as champion, defending my title against anybody. Anybody could get it. But I think it would be. I was a part of Survivor Series War Games 2 years ago with the Judgment Day. So I think being part of like a traditional Survivor Series, SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT, hell, even versus AAA, I think that'd be really cool. Just making it like all of us in there, like a big like debacle of people just going crazy. I think that'd be really cool.
Just a couple quick more questions for you. Got to ask you about the cash in on Saturday night, Seth Rollins. You were a part WrestleMania and Damien cashed in. You was there and got a chance to witness that surprise. Where does Seth's cash in on Saturday rank to you among
To me,
the best cash
number one,
ins?
number one all time. So that's why Seth's the GOAT. Like debuting against Seth, I realize how good he is, right? And like he like I'm a fan. So the fact that I was so bummed when CM Punk won and disappointed because I truly believe that he doesn't deserve it. Um, Here comes Seth Rollins to save the day. And as a fan, I was so happy and excited because I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought he was hurt and it made my day. And as a fan, I was smiling from ear to ear, just so happy. So I'm that definitely ranks number one for me.
John Cena last night he lost in more ways than one because it looks like he got to fight the beast. I don't know how Brock Lesnar could bulk up even bigger than what we've seen him in the past, but the guy looks like he needs to be fighting like actual Superman or Thor or somebody back there.
Yeah.
But Cena did lose that championship last night. The only belt that Cena has not won in his career is actually
Oh, really?
this Intercontinental title.
He don't want, man.
He has a few more months left. What do you think about the aspects of Cena trying to be the Grand Slam champion at the expense of Dirty Dom?
I mean, he can try. And what's that thing he says? If you want some, come get some. You know what, John? You know where I'm at. If you want to come finish your Grand Slam quest, these little side quests you're on, I'm here all day. Every Monday, you know where I'll be.
I love it, man. Last thing I gotta ask you, sneaker game. The whole Judgment Day, the sneaker game is crazy. I was looking at something online the other day, and they said that you and Liv were in the top 3. I think when you and Liv together, that was number 3 on the highest paid
complex. Yeah, I think we spent close to like 10 grand.
Yeah, and then Liv by herself came in at number 1. She spent like close to 12 grand by herself, man. Outside of the Judgment Day, who has the best sneaker game in WWE?
Outside of the Judgment Day, you know, I'm gonna have to give a shout out to Kofi. Kofi's got mad sneaker game. Rusev is low-key sneaky with the sneaker game. Of course, that boy Jey Uso's always swagged out. So he actually put me on game with some Sambas the other day. So he's like all over the place. I know he's always rocking his Air Forces and stuff, but like he has some sneaky sneaker games in there too.
That's dope, man.
What's up, guys? Dirty Dominik Mysterio, greatest Mysterio of all time, greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And shout out to Rap on Wrestling podcast, where you catch all your wrestling info. Tune in now because Dirty Dom said so.